This Bubba Exotic Motorsports production is brought to you in part by Blog Talk Radio, host of our #1 rated internationally syndicated automotive podcast as heard on the Bubba's Motorsports Network, and by Schumacher Chevrolet, SchumacherAuto.com, Schumacher.com, SchumacherAuto.com, and finally by Robertson Racing LLC.com, RobertsonRacingLLC.com. Visit them for all your lubricant needs.
Is your phone on silent?
My phone is on silent.
Are you sure?
Always on silent.
My phone's on silent.
It'll ring. Hey, good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live on this Friday morning. Beautiful, sunny South Florida day outside. We're in the main facility here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Bub, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good so far, man. It's just been another hectic day here around the shop. It hasn't
Wow,
stopped
Bub.
since 7 a.m.
Wow.
Actually, earlier, 6 a.m., we had a couple of the Marlins guys already rolling for
Yep.
it. So
They pulled up with one of their boats on the back of a Jeep, and they unloaded it and left, didn't tell us what was going on.
bye.
Yeah, whatever. It's sitting on the
So
side.
it's been hectic already. 6 to 11 already this morning. We're a good 5 hours strong. We're crazy cranking out here, and we've already rolled out a lot of good rides.
We have, man.
And we're just doing some more here at the facility, just getting them ready to roll and hit the streets this weekend.
How about that, man?
Yep.
How about that? But one of the things we had a couple people write into us about is, what is proper wheel and tire care, okay?
Yeah.
Here, the wheel, some people don't understand the difference, and it's not being insulting to say that. The wheel is the physical metal rim that the tire is adhered to. And the tire sits on the rim with a bead. It keeps it in place and keeps the tire from leaking air.
That's a
correct?
good point too, right there. Just to drop on that, a lot of people really have misconception of, when you talk about like, hey, I want to put some rims on my car, or hey, I want to put some wheels on my car. It's all the same thing. Those are just two of the same word. They're two different words. They mean the exact same thing. The wheel, the rim, whatever terminology you want to call it. Some spinners, some dubs,
whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it, it works as long as you're riding on shoes.
That's it,
There
right.
you go.
That's right.
So you can keep going and going and going with these things.
There are a lot of slang terms for it.
So
correct?
many.
Absolutely. So, but one of the things we were going to do is talk a little bit today about what the proper wheel and tire maintenance is. I mean, from a wheel perspective, it's pretty clear. One of the things you do, and this is a very important thing, is you wash your cars. Make sure you use separate washing supplies, whether it's soap, whether it's the rag that you use or the microfiber that you use, and the drying source that you use.
Yep.
For like a wet dry, the fake chamois that work beautifully. They absorb 10 times more water, but have one set for your wheel and tires, have one set for your body. Why is that, Bob? What happens if the sponge picks up road dirt?
Oh, I mean, that's a really, really big problem, and a lot of people have probably, if you've been a do-it-yourselfer and you've just wanted to get up on a Sunday morning or a Saturday afternoon when it's beautiful out and you want to have a drink, whether it's tea, whether you're drinking
Coke,
hard liquor,
beer, doesn't matter.
Coke, beer, I don't care what you're drinking, as long as you're drinking while you're cleaning.
That's exactly right.
So a lot of people have done it. It's been accidental. I've done it. I know you've done it because we've had to repaint cars that you've cleaned. He cleans them, we have to paint them. It doesn't make sense at all.
But the paint looks so much better after
When
I
it's
wash
done,
it.
right,
There you
right.
go.
So, a lot of people have done this where you actually use, you're just walking around the car, you're using one of the real nice, we use a microfiber mitt that actually goes around and soaps the entire car. It comes out beautiful every time. It picks up a lot of the stuff. But if you don't keep those clean or use grit guards and buckets, any little imperfect, and I'm talking, you don't even have to drop them on the ground and get rocks in them, but just rubbing over your paint. If you have, for us, we live right here next to the beach, so you get a lot of salt everywhere. So rubbing around the window trim of the cars, you'll pick up some of that salt, and then you go to rub it on your paint. Eventually, you're going to start getting foggy spots or scratching, light, fine scratching everywhere.
Especially on dark paints.
Yep, and for a lot of guys out there who have actually gone and done it, we've done it. You drop, if you accidentally, people do it all the time, you just drop that actual mitt on the ground, you go to pick it up. If you're moving through it, you don't think about it, you think you're in a clean spot, then you go to rub the paint, boom,
Done.
Guaranteed, there's a guaranteed scratch down the side from just hitting the ground, grabbing one rock and coming back up. It happens all the time, people have done it. So very, very good tip. Use two separate cleaning sources when you're going from your wheels and tires, especially to your body. Definitely do two separate buckets.
Right.
You don't want to make, because even if you were having a grit guard in there and you did your body and then you dipped in that same bucket, what's to say you still didn't pick up something from that bucket, maybe sitting on top of the actual grit guard, and then you go to rub your wheels and sure enough you have a scratch all the way around the chrome plate.
And one of the things you hear Bub saying is a grit guard. A grit guard is nothing more than a suspended shelf that sits in the bottom of your bucket. So all of the dirt goes to the bottom of the bucket, but your sponge or your microfiber sits on this grit guard, elevated above the grit and the dirt on the bottom of the bucket. So it's kind of a source for removing some of the contamination.
Right. Yeah.
But microfibers are known for attracting and picking up and holding things. That's what they do.
It's good when you're
Same
doing it
with
from a
rocks.
cleaning standpoint, but not when you're picking up bad things.
Same with rocks, right?
So in this case, you know, one of the things that we wanted to talk about with a lot of people, we've had a lot of questions about, you know, keeping the wheels clean because, I mean, let's face it, this car has beautiful paint. This is probably, I'd say, a 9.5 or 10 out of 10 on the paint job.
And this is this is the 67 T-Bird you're just finishing up.
66, yep,
66.
yep, just finished it. But now we're on the last piece, literally putting fresh tires on it because these are just so old. And one of the things that comes in this environment, whether you're here in South Florida, it doesn't matter where you are, West Coast, East Coast, North, South, anywhere across the world, billet aluminum is a high polish. It's an actual material that is, to get a very nice finish, it's high polish. That's all it is. There's no chrome plating to it or nothing. You're taking the raw material and just polishing it. So the more you polish, the shinier it gets. It's just that simple. However, billet aluminum oxidizes very bad. Everyone's had it happen to them. You take that fresh shine out of the box when you get your new product in, you're blown away with it, and then a month later,
it's flat.
It's flat, it's dull, it looks dull, it looks like you've rubbed a white piece of sandpaper over it. That's common. That's what happens with billet aluminum, even when you have stuff in garage case scenarios. I know there's a lot of guys out here, especially down here with American Force wheels on their trucks. It's like the #1 truck wheel in the industry. They offer the most custom cut and beautiful stuff for trucks, but it's all high polished billet aluminum, and before you know it, the stuff that you paid so much money for on day one doesn't look like that on day 30. And it's up to you as the owner to keep it clean.
To keep it clean. Now, Bub, let's step through a little bit. First of all, the #1 thing you want to do is use quality products. Meguiar's, Mother's. Quality is where it's at, okay? Don't go to Walmart or don't go to the auto parts store and buy their lowest end stuff.
No.
Meguiar's has a very high foam washing detergent, okay?
Yep.
It's what pulls the dirt up. You want that foam. You want those suds, okay, when you wash the car. They also make a variety. Meguiar's also makes a variety of different wheel cleaners.
They do,
okay? For chrome, for plastic coated or clear coated wheels.
Yep.
So look for the quality, okay? And once you've cleaned those wheels properly, okay, now you can get into the buffing mode. So, Bub, what materials do you use? There are 3 ways to do this.
So behind me, just on my cart that I just roll around the shop here.
This is the actual world famous painless cart that Mr. Dennis Overholser built and sent into Bub. There are 2 of them. He has both of them here at the facility, and you can see that Bub uses this for double duty. It's not just a painless performance cart that he does all his wiring on, but he also
It's a painless detailing cart too.
It's a painless detailing cart too.
So in this case, what I'm doing, this wheel behind me, just for people out there who don't know, this is actually a 2-piece aluminum rim. This is what you would consider a high polish rim. Right now, it's not polished at all.
No, it's
but
not.
this is a aluminum rim that has a high polish finish. So when this rim is clean, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's a stunning look once they're polished. A lot of guys in like the motorcycle industry, Performance Machine, Extreme Machine, all these companies use high polish, and it's a beautiful look. It's not chrome plating, so you don't have to worry about rust and it coming out. It's just you have to continue cleaning it for a good product. So what I like to use is any sort of mag and aluminum polish on this high polish setup that's not chrome plated. This will not do much of anything on chrome plating. It'll clean it up, but will it make it look brand new? Absolutely not. Mother's has a specific chrome polish for that, as well as Meguiar's or Adams, any of the companies out there you want to lean towards, whatever your preference is.
Correct.
Here in the shop, and we're just doing every car that comes in, we detail it before it goes out. Just one of the things we do as part of our customer service. So we roll through and we do the best stuff at the best rate to get it looking really, really good for the clients to go out and cruise. On this ride, what we're actually using is Mother's Mag and Aluminum Polish. This is a very nice product. You can pick this up virtually anywhere.
That's correct.
Anywhere from, you can go to the Walmarts and get it. This is the most expensive stuff you'll really find at Walmart. But you can get it at any of your local auto parts stores, anywhere around the world. We've actually done all the other wheels, gotten them ready to go. We're down to this one. We wanted to leave it for this so you could actually see the difference, the do-it-yourselfers out there who wonder about this. We're going to use this one. One of the things that I really, really, really like to use is a company, Meguiar's. Everyone knows Meguiar's.
Everybody. That crew over there is amazing.
They offer a mag and aluminum polish as well. It's called Hot Rims. Let me tell you, that is the absolute hands down best stuff I've ever used when it comes to billet aluminum products. Anything I've ever put it on is freaking incredible. However, getting it is not so easy. Every time I've done it, I actually just ordered some off Amazon from our personal Porsches 2 days ago. Just got them yesterday. So I just got it. It's the most amazing stuff, but when you're out and you just want to keep your products clean, you're looking for a quick clean, this is the way to go. So I'll show you a couple differences here.
So what Bub's going to do, there's a couple different ways you can do this. To do it by hand, which a lot of you do-it-yourselfers do, is very tedious, especially when you have it on the like polishing a pair of shoes and you're rubbing in circles like that. It's very intense on your knuckles. It's very hard on your hands. It takes a lot out of you. There's another way you can do this. Some of you may have air compressors. Some of you that are in the more advanced building stages do have air compressors in your house. We're going to show you an example to start using an air compressor. So let's watch as Bub uses it. He puts just a little bit on the polishing ball. This is a polishing ball that you can buy. It starts off, the original color is red. You can see that we've been polishing with it.
And this is by Mother's as well.
This is by Mother's as well. That's correct. It's called the Power Ball. They also come in a spherical kind of a triangulated look as well, so you can get in between. But let's watch as Bub puts his first application on. Bub, go ahead and show us how you do it here.
Now this will be a little noisy for a second because it is air. So this is on the obnoxious side. The only reason I lean to this is because it's air powered. We have a lot of polishing to do here, and I know I'm going to be doing continuous polishing, probably 20 or 30 minutes realistically a wheel for the whole room to be done. However, like you mentioned, going to the drilling aspect of it, very nice way to do it, especially if you don't have anything near as dirty as this. If you're just doing, your car is always undercover, it's always in garages, it's always clean, you won't need anywhere near the time I'm going to put into it. Can you start talking like Billy Mays, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great product coming to you like Billy Mays.
Right? Is that good?
Yeah, keep going.
That, yeah.
And literally all I'm doing is just slowly working back and forth on it. Just continual patches.
We can literally see the tarnish lifting up into the paste itself as Bub continues to work it.
I'll do the edge of the rim as well so you can really see it.
Okay, Bub, let's stop and take a look and see what we got now.
I'm not done.
That's okay. Let's take a look at what we got. All right. So we can see Bub has taken the Powerball now and done a pretty good job of it here. We may take a couple passes at it, but now look at what we start to get. We're starting to get a very vibrant shine as we just simply and gently wipe the spoke of this particular wheel, okay? Now we see that most of the pitting has gone away. We can actually see where the Powerball didn't hit. But look at how nice that's starting to turn out. And just the more you shine, the more you rub on it, the more vibrant it becomes. We can physically see the tarnish starting to appear on the rag itself now. Let's watch now as Bub tries it from a different perspective. A lot of you may not have an air compressor at the house, so let's do a little comparison here with the grill and see how that does. Bub?
And you can already see a very big difference. I don't know, Matt, if you can zoom in on the polished portion of the lip here.
Polished
if we had a
versus
tape
the-
line.
yep.
You can actually see from here to here is a very smooth, clean pass, already looking very clear. And you can go over these things, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Again, it's billet aluminum polish, so the more you polish, the shinier it's going to get. It's just that simple. So now this one, I'm just doing nothing more than a 14-volt drill. Most people can either have these things at their house, or you can get them. Home Depot, Lowe's, any of them.
Walmart,
Even
you can buy
Walmart
them
has
cheap,
them. You can get it all in one place, let them charge up. Usually these batteries will let you get 20 or 30 minutes out of them. 1 or 2 batteries will probably do the trick.
Notice the difference in noise. It's a lot quieter when you're driving with a drill. This is a snap-on drill that Bub uses. That's all he invests in and works with is snap-on tools because the quality's there. Again, it's about the quality that you purchase. So we can see again, he's starting now to lift the tarnish off the wheel itself. One of the things that Bub's drill has that might be worth considering if you're going to go out and purchase a drill and do this is he has an LED light right in front of the trigger. So as soon as the trigger is pulled, and make sure you have a trigger lock so your finger's not standing there holding it on, working your hands the whole time. It's like playing the bass guitar. You want to get as much noise as you can from the guitar, as much rhythm from the guitar, and work as little as you have to. So the same applies here. You want to get as much shine, but wear yourself out as little as possible. That's not saying be lazy, it's saying just don't overwork yourself when you don't need to. Let's take a look at what you got on this one, Bob.
Yeah. I haven't really gone over the spoke too much yet.
That's okay. So now we're going to take a look at what Bub did with the hand drill. Much quieter, number one. It was a much quieter sound. Now if we start wiping, we can see comparatively, the shine between this spoke and this spoke is the same. And as Bub bridged the gap between the spokes in this area, we're seeing that each side is starting to develop a very high luster.
Yep.
So the reality of it is, the way Bub did it with the hand drill is just as easy as doing it with a air-driven drill, and you're not having to walk around with the tail of the air hose hitting against the paint of your car or you're getting tangled. It gives a very nice appearance both ways across the board. In fact, I'm not so sure, man, it didn't do a little bit better on this side, Bub.
Well, this again, this is with the billet. The longer you polish, the
more
shinier
you
it gets.
That's right.
It's just that
Sure.
simple.
Absolutely.
I did a lot more right here, just in the focal point of the lip of the rim, just so you can kind of see it from the viewer's perspective here to here. It is a very, very, very good polish. It turns out amazing, and just again, the more you do it, the better it looks with billet aluminum. Usually with chrome plating, when you wipe it down, we actually use a 0000 or a quad odd, whatever you want to consider it. Fine steel wool, ultra fine steel wool with mother's chrome polish.
That's right.
To hit all the bumpers, all the chrome trim, even stainless. You can do it on stainless. It turns out very nice. You don't leave any fine scratchings, any residue, nothing returning. But I'll tell you what, when you do it on the chrome, it comes out beautiful. When you do it here, you can get it very, very high polish, almost a mirror-like finish. 1, 2, 3 coats even.
Even that, man.
Yeah.
And Bub, we're going to be taught, you can see a lot more of these things on BubbasExoticMotorsports.com. BubbasExoticMotorsports.com. You'll see it all. And by the way, if you want to see a great video, have you seen the one of the G10 van that you just finished up, the 66 G10 van?
I haven't seen
with
the video, no.
American Racing
Nope.
wheels that you put on it,
Nope.
the custom cut wheels. It has rally wheels on it.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, go watch that. Matt put that to video yesterday with our 4K drone. And it looks really, really good. It's amazing. Watch that thing fly out. Watch what Matt does with that. Beautiful bed of music. It's really fun. I want to jump back real quick. This is actually one of our wash buckets here. Okay, you can see it's a 5-gallon bucket, and we talked about the microfiber microfiber sponge that we use, and this is it. We can see that the microfiber has very long tentacles. This is what traps the dirt and the grit and the sand between the fibers if it's dropped on the ground. So it's very important that you rinse this out. And one of the things that you heard Bub discuss was the grit guard. Inside the bucket is the grit guard, okay? We can see this has feet on it. You can see it from that angle probably better. And it sits like this inside the bucket and elevates the sponge off the bottom of the bucket in the settlement that would normally set in the bottom of the bucket. So what it does is it sits on top of here like this, and it keeps your sponge from ever sitting in, your sponge never touches the bottom of the bucket and keeps the grit out of the sediment on the bottom. These are easy to pick up. They're cheap, and they do a great job.
Yep.
So please go out to Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I hope this gives you a little bit on your Friday afternoon going into your Saturday and Sunday. We wanted to share it with you so you had something fun to
go
look
home
at.
and like sit there and polish their wheels now.
Good,
Probably,
man.
it's going to happen.
Good. I hope they don't have the splatter that they've got on your face or my face on it.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's okay, man. That's half the fun of it.
That 4K, you can see it.
That's
all
exact
good.
4K lets you see it. So join us tomorrow on our podcast, the #1 rated motorsports podcast in the world, Bub.
Yep.
Doing it Bubba style. Heard on the Bubba's Motorsports Network. I've got a call with them today, 1 o'clock. Heard on the Bubba's Motorsports Network on Blog Talk Radio, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us live there. Call in, talk about your wheels and tires, talk about polishing tips, talk about whatever you want that's motorsports related. We'll engage with you. So please join us there tomorrow, Bub, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, man.
Yep.
It's also live stream on our Facebook page. We're the only one in the industry doing that as well in the 4K Mevo technologies.
Yeah, so I got to finish polishing these wheels now and mount and balance these tires because we're wrapping these up with. I mean, listen, what brand is this?
I don't know, Boyd Coddington.
No, the wheel is Boyd.
Oh.
These are Federal tires.
Oh, yeah. Terrible, terrible, Bub. And we've got a visit from our sponsor, Christina, over at Eckler's. They'll
Yep.
be here at 11:30 today. So we got a lot to do, Bub.
Lot to
in a
do.
very short period of time.
I'm going to polish these up and wrap them up in nittos. We'll be good to go.
How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you on Monday morning. Reach out to touch somebody's life in a positive way. It doesn't matter if you open a door. Lend somebody $1 that's hungry. Get somebody across the street. Do something kind for somebody.
Polish someone's
today.
wheels for 'em.
Polish their wheels for them, man. We want to do that every day. We want to make a positive impact no matter where we go.
Yep.
I impact everything I drive, Bub. How about that?
Everything you drive,
Everything
he
I
impacts.
drive. Bub, until Monday morning, what are we going to keep on doing?
Keep on doing it, Bubba style.
Let's keep on doing it, Bubba style. All right, Bub, let's get back to work here on this. Let me see.
This thing actually turned out really good, dude.
Did it really?
You see
it
how
does. Look
that
how
shine
smooth
is
that
beautiful
Yeah.
right there.
It came out better with the drill.